Can trust ever be rebuilt after years of emotional neglect? I'd like to share a story with you. I've been working with a gentleman named Steve. Steve lives in Canada. Steve is very, very successful, an entrepreneur who has done very, very well for himself. And unfortunately, Steve's going through a divorce at the moment. Steve neglected his spouse. He thought he was providing the best life for his family because he provided everything that they could ever want materially. Steve worked long hours and unfortunately was not there to connect with his spouse in the way that she needed to be seen, heard, and validated. And this occurred over decades. And unfortunately, enough was enough. And she decided to leave him. Steve also had some addictions, gambling, alcohol, which obviously led to even more abuse and neglect. But Steve is no longer the same man. Over the last 6 months, Steve went to AA. Steve made his amends with those around him. Steve is a changed man. And he has rebuilt his relationship with his kids in a way that he never thought he could. The only problem is that his spouse, Sophia, is not trying to hear it. She's not trying to have it. And her heart has turned cold. And any time that there's any sort of emotional connection, there's this backlash where she just loses it and berates him with unhealed wounds that find expression in emotional outbursts. And Steve reached out to me, wondering if it was even possible to save his marriage and his relationship, and really to learn to rebuild true connection and trust after years of what he himself sees as emotional neglect. And what I told Steve is that he owes himself and his family the ability to not leave any stone left unturned. Steve owes it to himself to have no regrets, to do things right, starting now. And to make sure that his significant other will see over time that his intentions are sincere, that his habits have changed, and that regardless of the outcome, he will be this new man, this new father, and this new potential partner. And so, of course, it's going to take hard work, consistency, new habits, developing new qualities, new attitudes, and therapy to be able to really, truly show to Sophia that it is indeed safe to be around him. Steve also needs to learn to set his own boundaries because just because he wasn't able to meet his wife's needs does not give her the right now to also continuously punish him. But either way, they have 2 beautiful kids that they will need to learn to co-parent in an atmosphere of love and to try to preserve some level of unity for everyone involved. Sophia is coping with this challenges in unhealthy ways herself now. And she's seeking freedom and independence in all the wrong ways. But to his credit, he's not judging. He's understanding. He's patient. He's forgiving. And he's doing the best that he can given the circumstances. And that is also going to be your challenge. Because to rebuild trust, there are 3 pillars. One of them is empathy. That quality of the heart that enables you to feel what someone else feels. That can really feel that pain with them without judgment. In order to create a safe space for them to continue to be themselves, to process their emotions, and to create that emotional connection. Also, you're going to need to develop the quality of authenticity. In order to rebuild trust, you need a certain level of transparency. Your questions need to be sincere. Your actions need to be heartfelt. Because even though at first you may not see an impact or a change in your significant other's behavior, ultimately, these qualities of the heart have an effect on other people's hearts. It softens their heart. And just like gravity is a force that we kind of go about living our lives taken for granted, it affects us. Similarly, sincerity and authenticity and empathy is a force that will over time have an impact on the heart of this person that you love most. And the third pillar of rebuilding trust is consistency. You must be consistent because this other person is just waiting to pounce, to tell you about yourself, to tell you about your shortcomings, to tell you that they knew that you could not change because they've been hurt. And so the more consistent you are, the more they will learn to trust you over time. And really, I encourage you not to see this as a process of just trying to win them back for your own selfish motives because you love them and want to be with them, but see this as an opportunity to continue to learn about yourself, to continue to grow, to reach your potential, and to create unity for your family, especially when you have children together. I know that you are facing the challenge of a lifetime, and I empathize and I salute your efforts because they're noble and they are not in vain. Remember to celebrate your small victories along the way because it's very, easy to get disillusioned, to lose faith, or simply to just give up because it is not a linear process. I encourage you to journal. I encourage you to give yourself some kudos when you are able to be consistent, when you are able to manifest those virtues in different small little ways in your day-to-day. That is progress. And that is the foundation upon which a new relationship, a new marriage can be rebuilt. And if it gets too challenging along the way, if you don't have anyone to talk to confide in, or anyone to turn to for guidance, please reach out. This is what we do. This is our purpose, to serve you in this way and many others everywhere around the world who are struggling through heartbreak, who are struggling to learn to rebuild trust, and who truly want to do it the right way. No tricks, no gimmicks, no shortcuts, building a healthy foundation together. We do free live trainings, we offer these videos, and we offer private coaching sessions. And it would be my pleasure to work with you one-on-one, to really take a deep dive, to help you understand what you're up against, to give you an honest assessment of your chances, and to provide you with a plan and a framework for you to continue to make progress. So, to answer the question, yes, trust can be rebuilt, even after many mistakes have been made over many years, but sometimes it takes time and it takes a lot of effort, consistency, empathy, and authenticity. You are already walking this path, so keep fighting the good fight, and I look forward to connecting with you soon to continue to learn together.